There we go. I'm just waiting for my Instagram stream to catch up here. All right. Hello, everybody. I'm going to bring Jai on stage.
Hey.
Already. How's it going?
Good,
hey, everybody. I'm really excited to get this started. Are we ready? We're live. We're all hooked up to Instagram. Here we go, guys. Welcome to this episode of the Lehigh Valley with Love podcast. Today, we're sitting down with Jai Peck, creator, to talk about Popcorn Pushers, a darkly funny new sitcom set in a movie theater secretly owned by loan sharks. And we get into how the idea came from Jaya's real life experiences. We talk about the local cast. I know a bunch of these people, which is always exciting. And we talk about what to expect at the world premiere at the Emmaus Theater on Saturday, November 8th at 7:30. Quick thank you to our partners, WDIY 88.1 FM, Wind Creek Event Center, Michael Bernadin of Remax Real Estate, Molly's Irish Grill and Sports Pub, and Banco Beverage Company. Jaya, how we doing?
George, how you doing? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming on. I saw you at Music Fest. I forget. Yeah. I was wearing, what shirt were you wearing? It was something.
Probably for the Emmaus Theater. The hustle.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, just constant billboard. But no, we were talking about the Emmaus Theater, and then I literally turned the corner, and there you were wearing. Yeah. Sure.
We're both men about town, Bethlehem. Just anytime there's any kind of downtown event, you're gonna run into either one of us. So
that's true. I'm down there. I'm just by default. Like if there's an event going on, I'm like required to be downtown. So, but yeah, the Emmaus Theater is an amazing venue. Talk a little bit, I guess, before we get into watching the trailer to start. Why we love it so much. I mean, let's give them some love.
It's just the people that run it, the programming. They have all kinds of weird, esoteric, sometimes independent movies. They do a great job, like especially showing some cool just things you never see like at the big multiplexes. And it just has like this history to it. You walk in those doors, like this place has been here for 100 years. How many people have walked through these doors? How many movies have played? It has a kind of a magical, feeling to it. So I love the Emmaus. Been going there since I was a kid.
Yeah, and they put on events like this where, we're going to be showing, a little bit unique, you would think, for a theater that you're going to be hearing something like this. So we're going to show the trailer. Could you sort of give us a little bit of an intro before we do?
This is a trailer. It's for season 1 of our show, Popcorn Pushers. It's a sitcom set in a Mabo movie theater. And this was cut by our editing team. And just kind of gives you a little bit of a sneak peek of what the show is going to be like. It's only a 2-minute slice. And the whole season is about 90 minutes. So you're only seeing a little bit here. So,
all right. And a lot of people I know in here, so I'm excited to watch. Let's
now,
watch.
Normally, I would never condone watching a trailer on an iPhone. That is blasphemy.
Oh my God, play it already.
Like our prehistoric ancestors, we're drawn to gather around to tell each other stories. Stories of good and evil, heroes and villains, and sometimes stories of adults struggling with intimacy.
I'm a union-certified projectionist, Nona. And you want me to give a sponge bath to some snack stand contraption?
Yeah, actually I do. Could you please help?
Sorry, I'm late. There was a Flash Criterion sale at the mall. It was madness. They called in the National Guard.
Since the gentlemen's club we frequent got taken over by the feds, we decided to make the wing here our new hangout, where we will continue doing our entrepreneurial activities.
Hello.
A bunch of tech CEOs went nuts and started a screen-free cult in the woods. That you? The Neo-Luddites?
Haven't watched any movies yet.
I just died a little bit on the inside. It's okay. I'm fine.
I had no idea I was running film seminars at a mob-run movie theater. What will the university think of this?
Who do you think runs the university?
I borrowed money from Sid and George, and if I don't pay them back, they said they're gonna do to me what David Zaslav did to Batgirl. They wouldn't dare. Can you help me?
In my younger years, I was a notorious movie bootlegger.
I've been put on this earth just to suffer? Just to serve nachos to nerds? All of eternity.
Because our customers, the moviegoers, the regulars who won't leave us alone, they have to watch movies in the dark, surrounded by strangers. We get to watch surrounded by friends.
Aw, That's creepy, Cal.
No, it sounded more poignant in my head.
What you doing?
Violating U.S. Criminal Code 17, Section 501.
Right on. Well, enjoy the movie.
You know, it don't look too bad.
It looks fine. I'm kind of.
I can just watch it?
myself, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, maybe tonight we have a nice Merlot. We put on those jackets we like, maybe the robes, and maybe we put the movie on.
Okay. I got nothing to do.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it looks so good too. Like
We had a great post-production team. We have a great post-production team. Raniel Rudica cut that trailer really well. She's down in Philly. Corey Barazow did the color. Dane Dickman did sound post-production work on it, and we have our main editor Robert Quinn. He oversaw the entire process. So
it looks very cohesive. And how about Steve Bost looking
Steve Bost looking
debonair there, like
leading man, top of the call sheet. Steve's a dream to work with. So I've known him since the trivia days. Bethlehem Brewworks.
Right. All right. We'll talk about the cast in a minute. I want to talk a little bit about you.
Okay.
How did you get into filmmaking? I know that you don't you have your daily life, and this is something you do. So you kind of bring me up to speed and how that all works. Where did you get interested in it, and then what does it look like in your daily life?
I started making movies in high school with some buddies. We had like a family camcorder, and I had friends who had like dirt bikes, and we lived in the woods. We just started making like little dinky projects out there.
Right.
And then high school came around. Started kind of thinking about what I wanted to do with my life. And before then, we were making movies in high school. Made some shorts, made some features. Me and my buddy Jeremy Clemmer had a fun production company called Peck Clemmer Productions, PCP. Okay. And we were just making things with our friends. And that's just kind of what I've been doing ever since then. And went to film school, Ithaca College, made some movies. Okay. I just been doing the work, and after I graduated, I moved to Bethlehem, kind of discovered the comedy scene here, and kind of really got into doing sketch, and the rest is history, I guess.
And then talk about like Pigeon City.
Yeah.
How does that tie into this?
Yeah, this is so I've been doing Pigeon City sketch shows since we started in 2019. We had a show scheduled for March 28th, 2020. Had to delay it over a year.
That worked out. Yeah.
Yeah. So we were literally in rehearsal for our first show. We finally got to start doing shows end of 21, and we've been doing about 2 a year ever since then. And in sketch, you're always kind of creating these little universes. Like, here's like a sketch about a cowboy, and then we got to create the universe, then just destroy it. And then we, about like a talking, a tampon character, we got to create this world and destroy it. And we rarely go back to these characters. And I kind of wanted to, in these worlds, I kind of wanted just to live in a world for a while, and kind of just do some long form storytelling, tell some about characters, and just try something different than just making little, sketches that kind of just let's sketch. It is, this project looks miles away better than anything I've ever worked on before, because we really did want it to look as dynamite as we could.
And talk about some of the story. I mean, Lone Shark owns the theater, but it's somewhat autobiographical. So what in here is, where are we blending the
I worked at movie theaters in between college semesters. I worked at the Regal down in Quakertown, Richland Crossing 12.
Famously owned by a loan shark.
Famously owned real criminals in the corporate world there. And then I worked at the County Theater in Doylestown for about a year and a half or so. And so a lot of the stories from the show kind of come from my time there. The people I hung out and pushed popcorn with, a lot of the movie theaters attract a lot of like creative obsessives from all walks of life. And I just kind of was always looking to do some type of workplace comedy. I like Community, The Office, 30 Rock. The Lone Shark aspect just comes from my love of The Sopranos. I am the biggest Soprano fan in Pennsylvania. I can't claim ever, because I don't live in Jersey, but and also the Lone Shark aspect came from, I was trying to do a version of the show that was more like Clerks, or just like a workplace, hanging out, and all the crazy wacky customers that come in through the doors, and it just felt a little inert, a little just, I've seen this before. So I just thought that I've always liked making crime comedies. My first short film I ever made in high school was called Guy Walks Into a Drug Deal. I've always just liked making crime comedies. So I keep ringing that bell. And I just thought having a organized crime aspect to the show would create some interesting like power dynamics.
It has that wrinkle. It allows you to do some things that maybe you wouldn't otherwise been able to. And
it just lets them like it just brings a whole nother an element of not danger. It's not a violent show whatsoever, but it's just kind of implied. There's some funny aspects there that what they can get away with if you have criminals as your boss.
Yeah, and so let's talk about some of the humor. Your humor is a little bit darker, so this is kind of along those lines of some of the shows that you even mentioned. There's the dark humor to it. Talk about that. What attracts you to that type of comedy?
Yeah, I mean, I've always liked gallows humor, just kind of having to make jokes in the light of imminent danger. And there is like an arc in this season that kind of deals with this kind of violent superhero fandom that kind of invades the theater, and the staff has to deal with that. That's why they're wearing this vest and those helmets. It's kind of like a Band-Aid over a problem, essentially. And so it's just my way of just laughing through the pain, I guess, or just that kind of that stress that we deal with. And movie theaters are infamously, they can be violent places. We had a president of the United States get shot in one, Abraham Lincoln. So
sure, yeah,
just thought it was just appropriate for the show to kind of just address that kind of that element dead on.
Sure. And we'll talk about the cast and some of the locations. I mean, Lisa Van Arsdale, I think she's been on my podcast more than any other person.
Yeah.
And of course, Evan and Anthony, and we talked about Steve Boss. Talk about the cast. How does this all come together, honestly, though? When you're obviously maybe you're working on this, you have the idea. Who do you pitch it to? And then how does this kind of
we didn't have like a traditional like audition process. It was mainly just like people I'd worked with in sketch comedy in the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years. And just kind of as I was working on the show, just seeing, that's like an interesting, you're always looking at like different dynamics, different frequencies for like a creative project. You kind of you're building like an orchestra, like how many trumpets do I have? How many clarinets? It just kind of this thing you kind of feel out. And, a lot of these people I've reached out to and they were just automatically on board. There are the people involved that just scheduling is a big thing, obviously. So, JJ Ellis, he's the co-writer of the show. He's been in a lot of Pigeon City. He's my co-founder of Pigeon City. Just like a magical person. Just he's so prolific, so funny, so generous, and he was just kind of a given. Terrence Haynes, again, another Pigeon City cast member. He just does some amazing things with prop comedy. This in this show. I don't want to say too much more about it. But,
well, let's talk about some of the filming. I'm imagining you're having somewhat of a shoestring budget.
Oh, sure.
All, friends and getting permission.
I wanted a lot of favors for this project, but also so like a passion project where I putting money aside over the years just for like I'm going to finally do this Popcorn Pushers project. It was, this has been a journey for almost 15 years now. Actually, I don't know if I told you, we actually made an episode back in 2010 at that Regal I worked at. And it was a lot of fun. We learned so much, but it just was just kind of like a first attempt at the project. And, I was 22. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So still don't know what I'm doing.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. Join the club.
Yeah.
When you were filming, how does that, like, was it over the course of a month, 2 months? And then talk about some of the locations. I saw, Steel Stacks was in there. Talk about the process.
We filmed this. So we filmed for 9 days total. And we filmed on weekends. We filmed a weekend in April. We filmed a weekend in May, weekend in June. We took June, July, and August off just to kind of catch up on editing and just kind of figure out, if we need to do any reshoots. And I kind of wanted to wait to write the finale until we kind of filmed the first third of the first 3 quarters of the season. We reconvened in August for one day to film the miniatures. You can see right there, the miniature movie theater that's very talented.
Oh, yeah, that's the. I was going to ask. It's not like I thought that was like a matte painting or something.
No, it was.
Wow, that's great. Look at that. Who built that?
It was designed by Evan Stutz, based on kind of Art Deco movie theaters.
Okay, sure.
And then Daniel Moyer, a comedian from the area who I've worked with. He constructed it. He works at this place.
What?
off down 309, they make like menu boards for like Panera Bread and things like that. He had just access to like these big plastic printers, so it's all made out of wood and plastic. And
I hope his boss knows.
Yeah, there's better pictures.
That isn't so neat. Like that. You made that for this project.
Yeah, because we wanted to create our own world. We didn't want to have like, if we had shots of the theater outside, we didn't want to have it be the Emmaus. We wanted just to make our own thing. And,
I understand. Yeah, well, that makes sense.
Yeah, but also we also saw like an opportunity for jokes, and every episode opens with like a joke on the marquee itself, kind of like our Simpsons chalkboard gag. So it's just kind of another way to kind of get some jokes in there, kind of set the tone for the episode. And we're just kind of embracing the artifice. I've always loved like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. There's the little fake town they built, and other shows like if you've ever seen Garth Marenghi's Dark Place, they made a bunch of kind of cheap looking models for all these establishing shots. And I'd rather do that than just try to do a matte. I don't know, matte painting would be fun, but for this season, we thought Daniel offered, and he did an incredible job.
Well, we're in the world of like everyone's talking about AI and how right. But over your shoulder is an example of like what real humanity and art looks like. It's fantastic.
The show is made with love by humans for humans, 100%.
Yeah. So. How does this work? Kids would look at you and say, "You're a YouTuber." How does that work? Like in a filmmaker, what's the goal here? We joked before we went live, ideally somebody sees it and goes, "This is great."
We're gonna do our best.
Does that happen? I mean, do you enter it into film contests and stuff? Is it
there actually are like television competitions out there, like kind of like equivalent to film festivals. We will be putting episodes online in January, probably like 1 or 2 a week. We haven't figured out the exact date or the schedule, but we're just going to put our work out as much as we can. We're just going to, I don't really have any real connections. It's just all self-funded. It's a lot of favors called in. We might explore some options of like crowdfunding for season 2, because we definitely want to make a second season out of this. We're just going to keep trying to make I'm just trying to replicate that experience I had in high school, making movies with my friends, and no matter what. And I'm just going to keep trying to do that. And if, the rest, just trying to be prepared for any kind of opportunity that comes my way. So
it's such a labor of love, but it's fun to make things with people you like.
We had a blast on set. Yeah, it was just we had so little time every day, but we just made sure to really kind of just enjoy the moment we were in, and that's the benefit of working with so many improvisers. They were just bringing their A game 100%. And we had to unfortunately just cut things out because we just didn't have time for it, or just. It's a blast. Yeah, I love making movies, so I'm just gonna keep doing it till I can't.
And what can people expect? So November 8th, 7:30, Popcorn Pushers season 1. So the whole season, we're gonna see.
Come binge season 1 with us. The runtime for the all 13 episodes is about 90 minutes long.
Okay.
And it'll be like clear like chapter headings of which episode is what. And we're just going to watch it from start to finish. It's an exclusive event. This is not going to be online until early January of next year. So, we're going to have a red carpet. We're going to have a step and repeat. We're going to, get your popcorn, get your candy at the concession stand, and it's going to be a really fun time. We might have like a little Q&A after with me. And
I was going to say, I would imagine the cast would be there as well. I mean,
I'm pretty sure the entire cast will be there. I haven't heard any RSVP regrets yet. Me and the director of the show, Tom Peeler, I could not have done without Tom. Will be introducing the show itself, and we just can't wait for the world to see it. We really do think we have something special on our hands. I've just been watching cuts of the recent episodes.
Yeah, I was just saying, how do you feel about it? Because you're probably like me, like your own worst critic. You know what I mean?
Oh, sure, yeah.
But why did I do this? So, like, how do you feel when you watch?
You gotta have a thick skin as a writer. Like, I've kind of just gotten past that. Like, but also I've had just great collaborators who are able just to give really solid notes and just help me kind of see things with fresh eyes, which
Sure.
So it's I'm really proud of what we accomplished. I think especially because I wanted just to kind of I've been doing so many live sketch shows, and I love doing sketch. It's kind of a way it's like a creative workout. You're just kind of doing kind of low stakes projects, 2-3 minute things at a time, and you learn a lot. It's like, let's make a Western, let's make a sci-fi thing. You get to play all kinds of different genres. and
Right. Drop in and out.
Yeah, so here this was kind of like the big competition. All those years of working out creatively, and now we were kind of off to the championships. And
right, it's like now you got to do instead of like 3 minutes. Now you got to do like 90 minutes.
Yeah, we did that. Yeah,
running a marathon.
We didn't expect it. We thought it would be. Our finale is about the longest episode is about 20 minutes long or so. But it was just like we got to get everyone back. We got the entire cast back. And it was just like we had to kind of close off a lot of story loops and then set up some new ones for a potential season 2. And we're really I think even just visually the whole show looks incredible. We had a great cinematographer.
I don't know what that's called because I'm not like
like the camera team or the cinematographers or
it just like it has that. If I didn't, do you know what, like you always have a bias because it's like I know this guy. But like if you just showed that to me and I had no idea, I would assume it's a show that you could find streaming on a
no, someday from your lips to God's ears, right? So.
Let's do it. So, but importantly, for Popcorn Pusher season 1, you just want to go to the Emmaus Theater's website.
Yes, you can get tickets on the EmmausTheater.com. There's the ticketing link in there. We're on Instagram, we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on Blue Sky, TikTok. So we're always posting.
Follow Pigeon City as well. Follow YouTube
sketch at Popcorn Pushers. Yeah, we're always cross promoting stuff, and I do hope to do another sketch comedy show in the future, a live sketch show. I have a lot of fun doing them, but this year we kind of took a year off from our kind of streak of doing Pigeon City live shows and just focus on this one project. So, but yeah,
well, I love it. I think I've been subscribed to Pigeon City on YouTube for a while. I'm gonna go back and look. It's been multiple.
Check out the archives. Yeah, with some really funny stuff there. A lot of people on this show you'll recognize. So
So no, it's fantastic. I'm excited for you. Like,
thank you, George.
Cool to see. It's like that self-actualization. Like you did the thing, and you get to share it, and all your friends too, and everybody involved. Of course, like credit to everybody.
Yeah,
but like you did the thing, and you get to show it off, and it already looks so great. Like it's
thank
so
you.
Awesome.
Yeah, I found myself talking about it. It was like I made that pilot in 2010, and then like it just didn't kind of go anywhere. I didn't know what I was doing. I put it in a drawer, and then I tried to do it again. It just life, other things. But then like pandemic hits, and like I just started thinking
worldwide pandemic.
Right. And then it's just like I just now that I'm getting better at filmmaking, sketch, writing, comedies, some might say. I thought it was kind of time, and so we're really excited what we accomplished, and can't wait for everyone to come on by the Emmaus Theater November 8th.
Yep, we're ready to see it. Popcorn Pusher season 1 debut November 8th, 7:30. Get your tickets at the Emmaus Theater's website, emmaustheater.com. Jaya Peck, it was a pleasure. I'm glad we got to do this finally.
George, thank you so much. One thing, George, when I first moved to Bethlehem, you had like you on your blog. I used to follow your blog. And it was like mainly it was more text before like video was really a thing online.
Yeah, back in the 70s.
I really want to thank you because as I moved here in 2011, and I just as a newcomer, you kind of helped me catch up on a lot of like Bethlehem lore and just just things about the town and the area and just places to go, people to see, and so
like there's tunnels under Main Street. Like that's I'll keep going back to that. I'll get in trouble. But no, I appreciate it. We're also so fortunate to be able to do what we do, and it's because of like same thing with you, networking, awesome people, awesome community, and we're better for it. So
absolutely.
All right, Jaya,
George, thank you.
November 8th, 7:30. We'll see you. Talk soon. Thank you everybody for watching, and thank you to our sponsors. We'll check you next time.
All right, thank you.
See you later.